When you're taking action steps, when it comes to your faith, you have to be solid. You have to be grounded. You have to be grounded in God. Hey, it's JMP, and I'm back with another conversation. And if you're new here, welcome to the KB Lounge, where I give encouragement, motivation, and inspiration to kingdom builders like yourself as you go through your journeys of entrepreneurship, personal development, building your relationship with God, and growing in your faith. Now, before we get started, with today's conversation, I want you to share some positive energy in the comment section. Share some love to another kingdom builder that can use it today. And let's get started with today's conversation. All right. Hey, kingdom builders. Let me make sure I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, because I want this conversation to not be disturbed. For some reason, on the days that I choose to record, no matter what day, seems like that they want to be outside doing the yard. So sorry for the background noise. I do try to record when it's quiet, and this is how you know this conversation is about to get good, because distractions come forth. They try. All right. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing today? All right, so today's conversation is going to help you. It's a conversation that I enjoy talking about. It's a conversation that honestly you need. It's a part of one of your journeys, and that's your faith journey. So today we're going to be talking about faith takes action. Okay? Faith takes action. Here we go. All right, so when we think about faith, okay, we think about what I think about the scripture. Faith is the substance. Yeah. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Okay. So faith is what you need to have a relationship with God. Faith is what you need to help you build your relationship with God. Faith is what you need to help you reach the goals that you can't obtain by yourself. Okay. When you have faith, faith is what helps you seek God for the impossible. Okay. It is hard to live life and not have faith. Not have faith in anything. Not have faith in God. Okay. Not even have faith in yourself. Like, you have to have faith in order to achieve these things that you're going after. Okay. So whatever it is that you desire to do, whatever it is that you are waiting on God to do, you have to have faith in the midst of that. And that faith is what keeps you holding on. It's what keeps you going forward. It's what keeps you in position to receive. Okay. Faith takes action. Let's talk about that. Now, depending on what you have faith in, it doesn't matter. It's going to take you moving, taking some type of step towards it, which is an action towards it. Okay. Faith is not you saying, this is what I desire, this is what I want, it's going to come to me. No. There is work. Faith without works is dead. There is some type of work you have to put in behind what you are believing in God for and what you are having faith in that He is going to do. Okay? But I don't want you to get this twisted, okay? When you are utilizing your faith, you don't want to have faith in the thing. You want to have faith in the who. And this is where sometimes we get discouraged or disappointed because we are so focused on the thing and how that thing may come to pass that we look over the person that is performing that miracle, that is releasing that blessing, that is creating that opportunity. So when you are utilizing your faith, don't have faith in the thing. Have faith in the who, because it is the who that is going to provide. It is the who that is going to make a way. It is the who that is going to do the impossible. And that who is God. So no matter what you are doing, no matter what you are having faith in, make sure that faith is grounded in God. Make sure your faith is in God. When your faith is in God, it is not easy for you to get weary. When your faith is in God, it's not easy for you to become disappointed, because even if something goes the opposite direction, even if it doesn't happen the way that you desire it to happen or you thought it was supposed to happen, because your faith was rooted in God, it doesn't matter. You will still praise him. You will still be grateful. You will still give God the glory because your faith was in him. He is the one that is providing for you. He is the one that's making the way for you. He is the one that's going to turn your business upside down overnight. And when I say upside down, I mean increasing it. He is the one that's going to change your story. He is the one that's going to heal your body. He is the one that's going to transform your life. So you don't want to have faith in the thing. You don't want to have faith in the thing that God gave you. You want to have faith in God and allow that to trickle down. And I hope that makes sense. But anyway, let's talk about action. All right. So we'll talk about business. Okay. So let's say God has given you a vision to create a business. Okay. He has given you wealth in your hands. And you wrote the vision, you made it plain, right? Now you have to put forth action to allow that vision to come forth. And I'm going to show you how your faith plays into place with this. So in order for you to exercise your faith, utilize your faith, you have to take an action. Okay? Writing it down, making it plain is not enough. It's what you do after that. Writing it down, making it plain is just you speaking it to existence. It is you bringing life forth, okay? But now you got to get ready to birth that thing. So when you write your vision and you make it plain, you have to figure out what are the steps that you need to take. So if God told you to go forth with a business, then you need to sit down and start doing research on what you need for that business to prosper, on the resources, on the tools, the type of environment you need to be in, people that you need to connect with. I hope somebody gets today. I'm going to talk a little louder though, so that I can make sure y'all can hear me. So for example, when God gave me my business, My Bass Incorporated, I had no clue what that business was at that time. I wrote it down and I left it alone. God brought that business back to me and had me to begin getting the download of the details of the company. And he gave me so much that I was seeing way into the future of what this company was going to be. I'm waiting for him to move out of the way because he got a little loud. So God began to give me the download of what it was he wanted to do through my company. Okay. So I just started to write. That's me writing the vision, making it plain. That's me writing out the details. When it was time for me to birth this business, when it was time for me to start pushing this business to come forth, it was a faith move. It was a faith move. Because God told me to go ahead and get the computer. Now, this is where my faith came in. I didn't have the finances to get the computer. I didn't have the extra funds to get the desktop, because the desktop that I needed, it wasn't just I couldn't get a regular computer. I needed something that was going to be be longevity, last me for a while. I needed something that was going to be good with speed. The quality was going to be good. I was going to be able to do phone, Zoom calls and stuff like that. So I couldn't just go with any type of desktop. I need to go with something that was going to benefit my business. So the faith was me purchasing a computer with little funds. That was the faith. So when you make a move, God would turn around and make his move. So he said, go ahead and get the computer. Okay. All right, God. This ain't easy for me, but I'm going to do it. I went ahead and got the computer. What that did was open up the door for God to start moving in my life and in my business. At the beginning of my entrepreneurship journey, that opened up the door for me to begin to start strengthening my skill sets, for me to begin to start putting together the tools and resources I need for my business. It opened up the door for me to begin to start researching what I needed, to begin to put together the workflows and the systems and the different things that I needed. It opened up the door for me to have a bigger capacity to fulfill work. It opened up the door for me to set the foundation of my company. It opened up the door for me to connect with other people. After I got that computer, not too long after that, I got my first client. I got my first client. And I began to watch God move through my faith. Now, I don't want you to get it twisted, because everybody have different stories. Everybody have different testimonies. Some people, they move out on faith and God, boom, they business is popping within the next 6 months. They hitting 6 figures and millions within the next 12 months. That is not everybody's story. That is not my story. God used my business to strengthen my faith. He used it to transform who I am today. He used it to shift my mindset. He used it to heal me. It has taken years for my vision to become what God has showed me. And it's still growing. It's still transforming. It's still increasing. God is still giving me downloads. But the amount of things that I went through to get here was because I kept the faith in God, but I also held on to that vision. Sometimes your actions behind your faith, it doesn't always get you immediate results. Sometimes you do have to wait a while. But when you do endure, when you do wait, when you do allow God to come in and do what he needs to do in you, I promise you it's well worth it. The waiting is worth it, because when God releases it, it's so much bigger than what you thought about. what you desire. When you put action behind your faith, you are agreeing with God that you are agreeing with God for the plan He has for your life. You're agreeing with God with the will that He has for your life. You're submitting to God and you say, God, I would rather do this your way than my way. And that's another thing too. When you're going on a faith journey, it's not easy. It's not easy. And that journey sometimes can depend on you. If you're on the faith journey and you feel like it's taking too long, so you try to take matters into your own hands, that's extending your journey. That's making your journey longer, and it's also making your journey harder. Because now God got to go and detour you. He got to turn you around. Because you decided that you wanted to take matters into your own hands because it wasn't happening the way that you wanted it to happen. It wasn't moving how you wanted it to move. So God got to detour you so He gets you back on track. So that you can be in the right position at the right time for it to come forth. Mind you, whatever God has for you is already set. It already has an appointed time. But it is up to you on how you get there. Think about it.
From helping entrepreneurs in growing their businesses by providing administrative support, effective business solutions, and meaningful conversations, to helping you create innovative solutions and ideas to expand your business capacity for growth and scalability, MyVast Incorporated is the business you want to work with to reach your maximum potential and maintain your long-term success. Our administrative services offer support for your daily business operations and tasks, while our business solution services are all about guiding you in building a solid foundation for your business. Need help clarifying your administrative service needs or creating roles for the right team? No worries, we can assist with that too. Learn more about MyVast at www.myvast.com. While you're there, schedule a discovery call with us. And remember, we're more than your VA. We are your business partner.
So let's say you're going on a road trip and it's a 10-hour road trip, right? Your destination time has not changed. It's the same time, okay? You're going to arrive there at 10:55 p.m., okay? But on the road trip, you have designated time and stops. You have designated stops at certain times you're going to take, right? Okay. So you take those breaks. But you start getting impatient on the drive. You start getting uncomfortable on the drive. So instead of you continuing and waiting till you get to your next spot, your next destination, your next breaking, right? Which is only maybe 15 minutes away, but you're too impatient and you go ahead and you stop, you take a detour. And now you are getting aggravated and annoyed because it feels like the trip is taking longer. When all you had to do was keep going till you got to your next location. And got what you needed from that location to continue your journey. I want you to think about that like faith. Your journey of faith. There are different stopping points in your life when it comes to your faith where God will fill you up. Where God will pour wisdom into you. when God will give you downloads, when God will encourage you, when God will motivate you, when God will bring the right resources, the tools, the people. He already have these stops set up. But you get impatient and you go looking elsewhere. You go asking people who don't even have the faith of a mustard seed. So now you're killing your faith that you do have. Now you're going to people who can barely pray for themselves. Now you're going to people who can't even speak life into their own situation. And God is just saying, all I need you to do is keep going. You have to learn how to press through the pressure. When there is faith involved, when you're on the journey of faith, there is going to be pressure. Those pressure moments means that you are near to a breakthrough. That means that you are close to a release. That means that you are close to a deliverance. That means that you are close to the next thing God has for you, your reward, your promise, your healing. The pressure is an indication that you're close. The pressure is an indication that God is in the neighborhood. The pressure is the indication that you are about to receive something from his hand. A prayer is about to be answered. But if you move too quickly, you can prolong that. If you move too quickly, you can miss it. When you're taking action steps, when it comes to your faith, you have to be solid. You have to be grounded. You have to be grounded in God, because that is what is going to help you maintain along the journey. Okay, let's back up, because I kind of veered a little bit from where I was intending to go, but maybe someone needs to hear that. So faith. Let me give you another example, okay? So we know we have to transform as individuals, right? The person you are right now is not the person you need to be to fulfill or receive the ultimate promise God has for you, okay? Because if you are watching this, that means that you're going through a transformation, okay? So you have to be transformed. Your mind has to be renewed, okay? For the things God has for you, you have to be the person that can steward it. You have to be the person that has wisdom. You have to be the person that is solid in your faith, solid in God. You have a strong relationship with God. Like, you can't be easily manipulated. You can't be easily pulled to the side. Okay? You have to be solid, right? So let's talk about when God gives you a vision of yourself. Okay? When God placed a desire in your heart for you to talk a certain way, to look a certain way, to walk a certain way, to appear a certain way, to think a certain way. When you have a desire in your heart to be the best version of yourself, now you have to embark along a transformation journey. But that even takes faith. Why? Because now you have to begin to do things to transform. You have to begin to take the steps. When God gave me my vision, not too much longer later, God began to give me a vision of myself, of who I look like as an entrepreneur. Who I look like when I'm walking into rooms, when I'm standing on platforms, when I'm talking to clients, when I'm doing different events. God began to give me a vision of who I look like. what I would wear, how I would walk, how I would talk, how I would, whatever my demeanor would be like, how I would come across. And when I saw her, she was bold. When I saw her, she knew her stuff. When I saw her, she was very confident. When I saw her, she was humble. She was gorgeous. She had the glow of God's glory over her life. She had the light, the fire of God lit on the inside of her. But I didn't know how to become her. I even had a vision of the type of wife I would be. I was going to be. I was going to look like, how I was going to move and function. Partner with my husband. The same for being a mother. I had a version of her too. So, what God did was use my business. He used the seed of that vision to give me multiple visions of myself. He used the seed of that business to push me into who I am today. And maybe that's what God is trying to do in your life. Because what I had to do was surrender. What I had to do is yield. What I had to do is stop looking at everybody else and look at myself. Focus on myself. And when I did that, God began to transform my heart. He began to transform my mind. He began to transform my ways. But it was the desire I had to see this vision come forth that made me surrender and yield and allow God to do the work he had to do in me before he brought it forth. Sometimes God would use something or a desire of yours to do other things in your life. So now he's knocking out multiple of things. So back to what I was saying about transformation. Before I became who I am today, it took work. It took me, like I said, surrendering. It took me allowing God to heal me in areas I didn't even realize I needed healing in. It took me looking at myself and saying, okay, this is not of God. This does not reflect God. This does not bring this does not bring God happiness. Okay? It took me investing in myself. My action steps was going to the gym. My action steps was speaking life into myself. My action steps was affirming things into my life, speaking affirmations. My action steps were pushing past what I felt like. If I didn't feel like getting dressed, I got dressed. If I didn't feel like looking presentable that day, I would press and make myself look presentable. It took me pushing past my flesh. It took me getting up and saying, you know what? Regardless of what I'm seeing, even though it doesn't look like God is moving, even though it doesn't look like nothing's happening for me, even though it looks like I'm drowning, it looks like I'm sinking, it looks like I'm depressed, it looks like all of these things around me, I'm going to go forth anyway. I'm going to show up for myself anyway.
Have you listened to our podcast, The Coffee Chat Queen? The Coffee Chat Queen podcast provides a platform for entrepreneurs to share their unique stories, discuss their journeys, and highlight their businesses through engaging 30-minute interviews and conversations. Our objective is to showcase and elevate these businesses for our audience, helping them to engage, establish connections, and discover new customers. Are you up for a challenge? We've integrated a Chat 10 challenge into the show, where guests are tasked with answering a series of questions in 10 minutes or less. Do you think you can win the challenge? Become our guest on the next episode. Visit our website for more information.
I'm going to do it anyway. I don't have any clients. I'm going to work my business anyway. I'm going to revamp all I can revamp. I'm going to change the website. I'm going to fix the wording on the website. I'm going to update the agreements that I may have. My services, I revamp them. I'm going to continue to work on this thing until God says it has been perfect. Until God says it is ready. I cannot tell you how many times I've had to revamp in my business. Most of it was because of self-doing. Most of it was because I was not fully partnering with God. And then I was also lowballing myself. I was so worried about what people would think about my prices that I was giving too much of myself for nothing. The clients I did attract, not all of them, but some of them, they were headaches because I was lowballing myself and I was giving too much for what they were paying. I had to realize God gave me this. I am good at what I do. Can't nobody do what I do how I do it. I had to realize what my clients was raving about me. How they would say, girl, you know your stuff. You know what you're doing. How they would give me free range to be creative in their business. How they would seek me now on certain things, ask me what I thought, my opinions, my suggestion about an industry or a field I wasn't even in. But they valued my opinion because they knew I had their best interest at heart. They knew I wanted nothing but for them to succeed because when they win, I win. So stuff that I wasn't even offering, doing in my business, God was building skill sets and experience in me that I now offer today in my business. I was just doing it for my clients because I wanted to help them. I wanted their business to succeed. And it was because God will allow me to get insight of their companies. He would allow me to see where he wanted to take them. So what he would do was pour into me so I can pour into them and water their vision, water their seeds, give them some nutrients for their seeds. Not knowing he was creating something in me, not knowing he was transforming me, not knowing he was giving me another skill set, another tool, another service. Now, oh, your girl very valuable. Now, I don't take anybody. I don't attract everybody. The KB Lounge is for those who have been set apart. The KB Lounge is for those who you've been on a journey. You're one of the strong ones in your family. You've been the black sheep of your family. But every time they look at your life, they see God blessing you. They don't understand it. They don't know how, but they see God showing up for you. They see God moving for you. They see God doing things in your life every single time. But it looks like on the outside, you're always going through something. You're always trapped in something. There's a cycle always happening. You can't get your foot up. You can't break through. You just can't. It just seems like you can't get it together. You have it together for a little while and it's like you lose it. It's like it's taken away from you. And it's nothing that you're doing per se. Now, some of it, yeah, it was decisions that you made. But most of it, no. That is just God setting you up. Setting you up. So if you're watching this today, I know you're being set up. I know you've been set up for something greater and something more. But you have to keep putting those actions behind the faith. Get up when you don't want to. On those days when you wake up and you feel so drained, ask God for strength, because I did. It was days I would wake up, y'all, and I did not want to deal with that day. I just want to lay in my bed. But I will close my eyes and say, God, give me strength for today. Give me motivation. Give me something that I need today to get up. Help me get up today. He will send his power. He will help me get up. And I will get up and I will press and I will go forward and I will do whatever I needed to do. God, what you need me to do today in this business? You have to start partnering with God. Stop thinking you know everything. Stop thinking you know what's best, because if you did, you wouldn't even be where you at right now. So if you don't really necessarily know what to do, ask God what to do. Everything in my business, God showed me how to do it. I did the research on my industry. I did the research on the pay rate, all of that, like what the services offered. I did all of that. God took that and he said, okay, great. Now this is what I need you to do in your business. This is what's going to make your business different from the rest of them in this industry. I'm doing something different through your virtual assistant company. I'm doing something different, something new. But it's happening through your business. You're not going to be treating your clients like they treat their clients. You're not going to be serving your clients like they serve their clients. Your services, oh, this is bigger than that. It's bigger than you helping with administration. It's different. It's bigger than that. You are a person. You are a person who I'm going to utilize to help birth the visions. You are someone I am going to help utilize to set foundations, to spark ideas, water visions. You know how much stuff God was giving me? And at different seasons of my life, he was working those things. And then he set it all down and then had me come back to it. I wasn't doing what I'm doing now. I had social media. I had business. I had virtual assistant services, admin, social media, graphic design, video editing. I was doing all of that. And he let me do it because it was skill sets I would need, but there was other stuff along that I was doing too. When I was on my client calls, I was also ministering. I was on my client calls speaking life into my clients. I was on my client calls speaking, decree, and declare over their life and their businesses. I was doing things different from the normal virtual assistant. That's why we say we're more than your VA, we're your business partner, because we partner with you. I partner with God for my business to help you, but I partner with you. So what God gives me to help with you, that's what I do. God gave me a different strategy. He gave me a different system. He gave me a different way. I don't operate like regular virtual assistant companies. So God doesn't want to operate like the world with you. He wants you to operate like the kingdom that you're from, his kingdom. That's why we're called kingdom builders, because we move and we operate the way God wants us to move and operate. We partner with God in everything that we do. Everything that we do. It's funny because God will also use my clients to pour into me and sow seeds into me. And I remember last year I had a returning client, and I'm the type that you're gonna know I'm here to help you. I'm here to support you, but I have to before you can fully see the result, you have to be able to let go. Same thing with God. You have to be able to let go, because I can only do as much as you allow me to do. So this particular client, I had built my relationship with her. She was going on, I think, 2 years. Okay, on and off, because of the plan that she had. And I had built my relationship with her, and it had got to the point in the relationship where I can finally say, I need you to move. It's time for me to do my job. Because at this point, you're holding yourself up. This is what you want to do, and I can do it, but you got to give me permission. That is what God is saying to you. I want to do this. I want to release this blessing. I want to do this miracle. I want to blow up your business. I want to bring forth that opportunity, but you got to let me do it. You got to trust me. You got to have faith in me. You got to take your hands off of it. Leave the control. Put it down. And see, I'm honest with my clients. And that's what I had to tell her. You have to put this down, and I have to do it. Because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to get there. I do. You don't know how to organize it. I do. Let me help you. This is what you hired me for. So once I did that, she let go. She let go. And allowed me to fully operate as the virtual assistant that she needed. And from that point, I was able to do my job, because I had the space to do it. And that's what God wants from you. He wants you to give him permission. We have free will, so he's not going to come in and take it. But you have to give him the permission, so that he can fulfill what it is that you are desiring. Because he placed that desire in your heart. And that same client watered a seed in me that a client placed in me years ago about new services. But on my client calls, you get 45 minutes with me, 40 to 45 minutes with me. And on that client call, we're updating each other. We're strategizing. We're planning some stuff out. We're going over tasks. We're just having a full conversation, because it's once a week. And that's another thing that is different. Oh, we're going to communicate. We're going to update each other. Yes, we can email throughout the week. We can text throughout the week. But we're going to have a sit-down conversation at least once a week, because I offer accountability. You don't just give me the task and it's done. No, we are partners in this thing. What it is that you need to complete that is going to help you elevate your business, that is going to help you get in new clients, that is going to help you increase the revenue, that is going to help you upgrade. So we have accountability here. We actually partner together. It is a true partnership here. So this is why I can't take everybody, because some people don't want to be held accountable. You have to be held accountable to work with me. Because again, I can only do as much as you allow. But there's other things that you're trying to do in your business. And if I got the resources and the tools to help you, I'm going to do that. I digress. Anyway, as I was saying, She watered a seed and it finally came forth. It was something that was like in the back of my mind. And those services got birthed. So on top of my administrative services that I offer, I started offering services or sessions, which is called business solution services. And I help you. One is a session where it's a consultation clarity call. So you gain clarity on the services that you need from a virtual assistant. You gain clarity on the type of team members that you need to hire within your company. Okay. So that's a clarity consultation call. Then you have setting the foundation call. Then you have a strategy call. And there's one more I'm missing. But you have these calls. These are all things that I have consistently done throughout my business with my clients. And then back to the vision. God had gave me vision business coaching a few years ago, and he allowed me to do that. To coach a few people on their visions and help them set that foundation and bring it forth. Help them birth it out. So these are things that God has done through me that is now being allowed for me to offer as a service. So if you want to learn more about all of that, then just go to the website. It'll be in the description. But the point is, I took action behind the faith. The person I am now, my business, me being a mother, wife, I took action behind the faith. Now, you have to see and seek God on what those action steps is if you don't know. But I feel like you may know. And if you know, you need to start taking those action steps. Because when you take those steps, God takes one for you. So you take a step, then God takes a step. It's a partnership. But see, when he stepped big. Your step compared to his step is nothing. Because his steps releases resources. His steps releases blessings. His steps releases increase. It releases divine connections. So when God's step is nothing compared to the step that you make. Okay? So yeah. Start putting your action behind your faith. Start showing God that you agree with him. That you want what he wants for you. That you don't want to do it your way. You want to do it his way. I hope this encouraged somebody, motivated you, brought some confirmation to you. I hope that you were inspired on today. I know I maybe have been a little everywhere. I did get a little passionate earlier. But faith is my life. It has been. I was never one to be in the world per se. I grew up in church. I knew God. I knew of God. I've always been the one to pretty much play it by the book. So I've always been a good girl, if you would say. But I've always had faith. At the time, being young, didn't really know, knowing what faith really is. I just know I did it. And I would see God blow my mind. He would give me blessings and rewards. But it wasn't until I started actually building a personable relationship with God where I began to embark on the journey of faith and utilizing my faith, growing in my faith. Faith of a mustard seed is great. That is a wonderful place to start. But you don't want to stay there. You don't want to stay there. You don't want to limit yourself. That is a great place to start. But you eventually want to get to where you have a mountain of faith. You're overflowing with faith. You got so much faith, people pulling on you to borrow faith. You spending your faith in somebody else's life. And I do that. I do that in my family all the time. I do that with my friends. I do that with people all the time. No matter what I have gone through in life, no matter what I face, no matter the trials, the tribulations, they call on me. When certain situations transpire in life, or they're believing God for something, and it's new for them, they ain't never done this before, they call on me for prayer and for faith. And you know what I do? I deposit. That's good. I deposit. I make a deposit. I make a deposit of my faith that God is going to heal. I make a deposit of my faith that God is going to restore. I make a deposit of my faith that God is going to make a way out of no way. He's going to do the impossible. He's going to do the unheard of. But you know why I can make that deposit of faith? Because I'm wealthy in my faith. I'm overflowing in my faith. Wealth is not just money. It's other things too. Faith and favor. Health. Your mindset. Okay? So because I know I am wealthy in the area of my faith, regardless of what's going on around me, regardless of who I may have to ask for help, I know one day, at the right time, God is going to get the glory, because it never fails. It never fails. I had to stop thinking about who I was disappointing. I had to stop thinking about what other people might think, because I got so much faith, so much favor, but I'm going through this situation. But I'm dealing with this situation. Stop worrying about it. If God is allowing it, He's going to use it. And it's not about you. You may be going through that, but it's not even about you. It's about the person that may be helping you. It's about the person that you may share that story with. He's just utilizing your life because you got the faith. He using your life because you got the favor. They don't have the faith and favor that you got. They haven't built up to that point yet. But because God knows you got it, and you got it in overflow, my Lord, He's using you. He gonna get the glory through your life because He know you're obedient. He know you're gonna do it regardless. He know you're gonna sacrifice it. He know you're gonna give it to Him and trust Him regardless of how hard it looks. It may get. What's wrong with you? Maybe your reflux. Hey. So because God knows He can use you, you got the armor for it. You've been through the training for it. He said, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to allow this to happen in your life so I can do something to somebody else's. Because you can handle it, they can't. You know how to war through it, they don't. See, you built up your endurance. You built up the momentum. You built up your prayer life, your worship. your praise. You built up to this. You continuously allow God to push you. And because of that, he can use you. He's going to use that to help someone else. So the situation you're going through is probably not even about you, baby. It ain't even for you. It's for somebody else. But God knew you would hold on. He knew you would keep your faith. Even when it got hard, even when doubt tried to attack you, he knew you would get in his presence to attack it back to get the victory. He knew you would pray for his power to fall. He knew you would speak against what was trying to speak against his word. You are the person for it. Because he equipped you. You've been through your fire. You've been through enough for him to utilize you. So let him do it. I know this was long, but I get very passionate about faith. Very passionate about it. Because it's my life. It's what I live. I don't speak it. I don't just speak it. I live it. I live it. Allow faith to be a part of your life. Something that you live every single day. Okay? All right, guys. So I'm going to wrap it up. That's all I have for you today. Like I said, I hope this encouraged you, motivate you, gave you some strength in some type of way. Share this video. I normally don't say that, but share this one to someone who may be weary in their faith. Share this to someone who's on their journey of faith and they're tired of fighting, because it gets tiring. But we can't stop. We can't give up. We can't let the enemy take control. We can't give up our promise to the enemy. We can't do that. Okay? So share this to somebody. Replay it if you have to. Save it if you have to. All right? So guys, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time.